Hey everyone, welcome back to another day of Spirits Week. Today we have a couple members from Shortbarrel Bourbon to tell us a little bit about their brand and their products.
Yeah, cool. So I'll jump into that. So Clint Dugan, one of the co-owners and founders of Short Barrel, happens to also be one of our master blenders over here at Short Barrel. So a lot of things that you get to taste on the shelf, myself and my team are creating in the lab directly for you.
Patrick Lemond. I'm one of the partners and co-owners of Short Barrel here. I'm kind of the numbers guy, so I've got a finance background. I'm usually in the warehouse day to day. Clinton hands me random samples and asks me if it's good or if it's bad, and I have a secondhand process in everything that goes out of the warehouse.
I'm Wesley Painter. Nice to meet y'all. I'm a regional sales manager for Tennessee and Kentucky for Short Barrel, both on premise and off premise. So looking forward to getting into the state and meeting everybody on all corners.
Nice. Well, it seems like you all have got a good team behind you. Can you start out just by telling us a little bit about Short Barrel and kind of how you all got started?
Sure. So Short Barrel started as a picking group here in Georgia in 2016. So we had a couple local stores that we picked pretty much all their single barrels for, kind of early in the game of when single barrels became kind of a popular thing here. Adam, who's not here with us, had a couple friends that owned stores, and he asked who was picking their store picks. They said no one. We just kind of randomly pick a sample. So that's kind of where Short Barrel was formed. It was a group of friends here picking barrels through stores, and that kind of expanded. People knew our palates, they knew our picks. They'd line up to get selected by Short Barrel around Atlanta. Fast forward that to 2020. Clinton and I were on a trip. We were being hosted in the state when the world opened back up after COVID. And we kind of had a Sunday fun day. It was our first time traveling after COVID. We were bidding on some barrels at a bar. Clinton dropped his phone. We got kicked out of a live auction. And the bartender, who was the owner, actually asked us, he said, "Hey, I realized y'all were bidding on some barrels. We actually own some barrels here, and we're trying to unwind these to make payroll through the end of the year. Would you mind taking a look at these samples?" Apparently I said yes. And since I was the only one that could write at the time, I signed an agreement to buy the first barrels sitting at a bar in Kentucky that started Short Barrel as a brand. I realized this the next day when I got a phone call asking for a wire for money, and realized that my signature was on a BSA agreement. And that's when we quickly called Adam and said, "Hey, we just bought a lot more barrels than we thought. Do we want to launch the brand since we already have demand for our product? Or do we just want to run friends and family and kind of run these through our companies, do some other fun stuff with them?" And Short Barrel was started in the back of a van headed to a barrel pick in Kentucky. So that's how we got our start. We started in Kentucky, and now we're distributing in Kentucky. So we're coming full circle.
That's awesome.
Kentucky's really kind of where our heart is. Being a brand is we've always picked Kentucky bourbon. Really been fun at Kentucky and everybody, and we've made so many friends there too. And Kentucky was an opportunity for us. It was like, why not? Why shouldn't we go to Kentucky? Kentucky scared us a little bit too, from being a source brand to now distilling there. It was like, how's the market going to perceive us? But with partners like Kentucky Eagle and else too, it's been probably one of the better launches we've seen as a brand, which has been amazing for us.
Yeah.
So in a place like Kentucky where there is such a heavy bourbon presence, how would you all say you all differ from other brands?
We try to embrace the fact that we are truly an NDP, that we are buying, we are sourcing from Kentucky. And kind of what people know us for now is one, our bee's knees, which is our bourbon finish and honey cask, our cigar blends, but two, just our ability to pick out really, really good single barrels, to blend a very consistent core product, and then to run fun experiments. So when people come and pick with us, we have modeled our single barrel program. We've modeled what we do out of a lot of legacy Kentucky distilleries here that we kind of pay homage to through that process. But at the same time, we're trying experiments that larger distilleries is kind of a waste of time for them. So we're trying to put a new spin. We're doing some incredible stuff with Kelvin, with some toasted oak, some double oaks. We're trying our luck at a bunch of different finishes right now. So it's taking what someone else has made in Kentucky, truly as an NDP. We're putting our own spin on that here in Atlanta. And Clinton and Wes will both tell you, the warehouse here in Atlanta when we say born in Kentucky, raised in Atlanta, I tell people we bring things down to Georgia in the year that we are going to consume that barrel because we want things to grow up in Kentucky. But that year here in Atlanta brings completely different flavor profiles and notes to those barrels than I ever even imagined here.
Like a lot of these barrels are essentially having like a homecoming to the state. We work with multiple partner distilleries within Kentucky, the most known and trusted source for bourbon in the nation, to sort of keep working on innovation, unique and fun blends, and just kind of letting that Georgia heat and humidity, alter that product in a way that just kind of drives that oak profile and sweetness to another level. So I'm pretty thrilled with what we've been able to do, what we've been able to place in Kentucky, and most especially for what's coming up. And it's all thanks to Kentucky.
With your more of a modern approach to bourbon, how would you recommend enjoying it?
I have the best recipe ever for bourbon. It's neat, no ice, and in a Glencairn, and I think Wes and Patrick would probably tell you the same exact things.
Keep it plain and simple.
Keep it the Kentucky way.
From a previous bartending background, I do definitely enjoy cocktails. I think with each one of our, different products that will differ. For our, Kentucky toasted bourbon, it's simple, sweet, and smooth. So as Clinton says, pour it in a glass and consume it. For the rye, definitely enjoy Boulevardiers and Old Fashions, just so that simple, sweet spice can kind of counteract and balance any sweet-leaning ingredients or any bitter Amaros. But even say our El Jefe, which is a mezcal, tequila, and Sotol finished bourbon that's currently in the state of Kentucky, that one's even more versatile. You're almost looking at ways in which to consume that product in and of itself is absolutely crazy. You can put rocks on it if you want to tame down the proof. You can just throw it back as necessary if you like that yourself. But even in a standard cocktail, you're noticing all these different agave and vanilla flavors that come out of it. That's still staunchly a bourbon in the backbone of it that really stands up between the other cocktail ingredients.
When we bring people in the warehouse, I always tell them there's no wrong way to drink bourbon. I'd prefer you to drink mine. But we try to get people to drink it straight up. Try it straight up. We have our favorite cocktails. I could go down the list. I made Paper Planes last night. That'll always be one of my staples with our 94 proof toasted. But we're trying to convert the people over who say it's too high proof, or I've had it in the past, I don't care for it, or I drank it in college, I don't drink it anymore. Just try it again, either on the rocks or with some water. And as long as we can convert people over to drinking bourbon and then bring them into the rye category, which is what we love doing most, there's no wrong way to drink bourbon.
You all have released quite a few different bottles over the years since you all have kind of got started, but can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see next from you all as a brand?
Wes,
so coming up for the state of Kentucky, we've got, first to arrive, our cigar batch 2. Definitely very excited to get that into market as it went, very well the first time around. Still looking at like a 6 to 9 year old blend. It's essentially a quad finish barrel blend. So, this has definitely been done before. But I definitely believe the influence from Armagnac, Cognac, rum, tawny port casks makes this for a very unique and versatile item. You're also getting for the first time ever our Bee's Knees 4 being finished on Kentucky bourbons. The one cool thing that Clinton and Patrick have done in the past year is be able to release each state a very unique amount of barrels for the blend itself, as well as offering each state's local flora being finished with that particular honey. So definitely something to look at. It's our kind of annual collector's release. So super pumped to get that into the state for the first time ever.
One big thing too, what we're really excited about too is, opening our single barrel program, which is one thing that's kind of been a little bit on the back burner too. But, as Patrick touched on earlier, we have a lot of crazy Kentucky barrels that have now spent a year and a half, 2 years in Georgia, and they're really opening up all these very unique flavors that are just kind of not really seen in Kentucky. The big kind of chocolate notes, the almost dessert finish that we get from the wood influence of Georgia. And it's really taken us a year and a half to really kind of figure out what those barrels are and what they taste like. But we're getting barrels that came into our warehouse here in Georgia at 122, 123 proof. This is more for the bourbon nerds. They're now 130, 131, 132 proof, which is really just kind of unheard of really getting a quality fill and a quality product across the line, which we're really excited about.
I'll say for the people on the phone call to Kentucky Eagle, we say it time and time again, but what we have coming out of our warehouse right now, Kentucky will be on the forefront of the best stuff, the best juice that we've ever produced. It's only getting better here. The demand's growing, and right now I can say with extreme level of confidence, our our best is yet to come, and we are producing the best that we've ever made right now. And Kentucky will be the first state to get our newest and best products.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing what the future holds for your brand, new products to come, and can't wait for everybody to try it out, including ourselves. Is there anything else you all wanted to kind of cover today? Tell us a little bit more about?
We're having a lot of fun with this. We're kind of following our passions and our dreams and getting to do this directly with suppliers like Kentucky Eagle. This is really fun. Like I said, we didn't find Grandpappy's recipe on the back of the card and recreating history. We're really just kind of being the brands that are shaping the market and just having a lot of fun doing it.
You know, we're having fun with this. We're trying to be transparent. We're trying to have fun. What do y'all want to taste? You know, even to Kentucky Eagle, what have you liked out there that you'd like to try more of? We're running experiments all the time in here. We have our core, we have kind of our limited offerings and things that we do, but we're always looking for fun stuff. So we are open books. We're very transparent, but we also want to have fun with this. We want people to come along for the journey with us and give us feedback, give us things to try.
Well, I mean, obviously you all have got a pretty versatile portfolio already, and it seems like it's just continuing to grow. Seems like it'd be perfect for everybody at all points of the year, any kind of occasion, but specifically Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and it seems like Short Barrel's got something for everybody and would make a great pairing alongside a Thanksgiving meal this year. So we definitely recommend everybody go out and try it, pick up a bottle or two and try something new.